I actually made my wife something she likes. That's amazing. I'm going to try them. I haven't had one of these in many a year. I used to make these all the time, but I don't like to zest anything. It's just, I don't like it. Hello everybody. I've got a fun one for you today. Today I am going to be making something that I very rarely make because it's special, number one, and number two, I don't like to zest anything, and this requires zest. So I'm going to make you some candy, so I'll show you just a second. Alright, so this is a very simple recipe. It's for an orange flavored candy. So you're going to start out 1 cup of orange juice. You're going to put that in your pan. And then you're going to take this evil stuff. It's zest of 1 orange. If you don't know what the zest is, that's when you take an orange and you make it naked, which is a pain in the butt to do. Okay, you're going to stir that together a little bit, just get it good. Next thing you're going to need is 1 cup of sugar, which is easy enough. And let me stir that up a little bit, dissolve it some, because you want this to dissolve in the orange juice a little bit before you put in the next one, because that one you have to dissolve as well. Some people use a whisk. I don't, because this is a non-stick pan, and I really don't want to destroy my non-stick pan with a whisk. You can get the Teflon ones, I guess. The next one is 3/4 cup of cornstarch, which I really don't like working with. This stuff is terrible. It sticks to everything and goes everywhere, as you can tell. So yeah, 3/4 cup of cornstarch. Let me get the rest of that out of there. Give me a second. Alright, sorry about that. That cornstarch, I just don't like working with it. So now you want to dissolve your cornstarch as well in your orange juice and sugar and zest mix. This is where the whisk comes in handy, but I don't like using a whisk on my pans because all I have is a metal whisk. And I don't want to ruin my pan. So you're going to feel the consistency get thicker because that's what cornstarch does. Makes it nice and thick. Notice I do not have the burner on yet, so there is no heat whatsoever yet. You just want to get everything dissolved before you start cooking. And like I said, this is a very simple recipe, and it tastes delicious. But I can't say anything. Randall's the one who's going to have to taste it and let you guys know, because, don't want to take my word for it. She's the picky one. Alright. Yeah. Still got some lumps. So let me get the lumps out of here, and that way I can use 2 hands, and I'll show you what it looks like once I get all the lumps out. See you in a second. Alright, as you can see, I got everything nice and stirred in there and dissolved. Now I'm going to turn the burner on to low. So you do not want this to cook fast because it'll burn. So you want to continuously stir it as it cooks, which is not much fun. So yeah, I'm gonna keep stirring this, get my zest down here because it rolled up on me. But like I said, you do want to continually stir this, and you'll see it thicken up as you cook. So like I said, it's easier with a gas burner because you can actually see what the temperature is at. With a glass top stove, it's not as easy. This is another reason why I don't make this very often, because it's it's easy to make, but I just don't like making zest. And I have a glass top stove. I could put it on the grill, but that wouldn't be as much fun. So yeah, I'm gonna stir this, and as it thickens up, I'll show you as I go. I don't want to keep you here watching me stir a pan, because how much fun is that? So I'm going to continue to stir this, and once it starts doing something, then I'll bring you back in. So I've been stirring this quite a bit, starting to get a little bit warm, which is good because that's what you want to do. So the next step you want to do is 1/2 teaspoon of butter. Oops, let me get it all in there. It got stuck to the paper. So you want to put that butter in there, and then that'll start melting hopefully soon, because it takes a minute. It's not quite hot warm, but it's warming up pretty good. So you want to be able to melt your butter. And you can see it starting to melt and making it nice and pretty. And there you go. And then I'm just going to continue to stir this. And yeah, it's boring. It's easy, but it's boring. So I'll bring you guys back here in just a second. All right, now it's starting to thicken up. You can see it gets this nice little thickness going on, which is what we want it to do. That's a good thing, because once it all gets like that, you'll see what the next step is. So like I said, you want to keep it on a low temperature because you don't want it to cook too fast. It will burn very easily. So yeah, just going to continue stirring. It's like driving down a long, boring road. You just stick with it until it's over. So I'm not going to bore you while I sit here and stir. So I'll see you in a second. As you can see, we're getting somewhere. This is not a fast process. This is long and slow and tedious, but you can see it's starting to get nice and thick there. It's coming along nicely. Ooh, but like I said, you do have to continually stir, and this does take quite a while. So it's not a fast process. So yeah, I'm gonna get it done a little bit more and we'll bring you right back. All right, we're getting there. It's like a taffy-like consistency. It's a little bit thinner, but it's cooking up nicely. Like I said, you want to keep it at a low heat, and you just want to be consistent, and you just want to keep stirring. You can see it's starting to, it's really thick now. Very little liquid left, if any. And you just keep it going until it gets a little bit thicker. Ah, I'm losing it. All right, let's bring it closer. There we go. That way, having issues with my pan. There we go. So see how it's starting to get nice and taffy-like? That's what we want. So we'll see you here in just a second. All right, look, I've got 2 extra hands. Had to call Randall in to come hold this for me, because once it's sticky like this, it's not as easy to hold onto a pan and film and stir. So yeah, there we go. See, it's not quite there yet, but you can see it's getting better. So this will thicken up quite a bit more. As long as we keep it turned, we don't want it to burn anywhere. That's the main thing. Don't want it to burn. Get it all off the sides there, that way it comes all together. There we go. What do you think? It looks good so far, Randall?
I want to taste it.
I know, right? It'll be soon and you can taste it. So, whew.
I'm not doing a very good job holding this.
I know, right? The pan's moving more than when it was stuck to my belly. But that's not a problem. We'll get it. Whoops, shoot, losing stuff on the outside. Ooh, that's hot. That's good. So, we're almost where we need it to be. And then we'll get you to the next step. And you gotta like that. Yeah, it's hard holding that pan because it's so sticky. And trying to stir it. So we'll see you in just a second. So I decided to let Randall stir. So you can see how it's starting to thicken up nice and good. Looks like a big glob of orange mashed potatoes. Cheesy taters. Uh-oh, dog's one in. So yeah. Alright, it's almost to where it needs to be once we get the pan back on the burner. It's getting there. See you in a second. Well, everybody, I screwed up. I accidentally deleted the video of me finishing up the cooking of the candy and then transferring it into the little bowl to cool it. So yeah, you want to transfer it in. I put the wax paper in here because that way it's a lot easier to get it from unsticking. And then yeah, so I let it cool. It's been a few hours, so it's nice and cool, and then I'm going to show you the next step. So I have my beautiful little candy creation sitting here, and next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it up. You don't want to make it too big, you just want to make proportional sizes because, well, you know, proportion is everything. So I do it about like that, and then I'm going to cut it into fourths. So I'll show you how to do that here. I'll finish it up and I'll show you in a second. So I've got it divided into different sections, and I don't know how to explain the consistency on this because it's a weird consistency. It's not too hard, it's not too soft. It's almost like a hard pudding, I guess. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to form it into just rough, take the rough edges off, and then dip it in some sugar. And then once it's all coated in sugar, which is pretty easy, put it on a plate for serving. So let me get them all done, and then I'll show you the final product. All right, so I finished them all up, coated them. It's kind of hard to explain the texture because, yeah, it's like a firm custard. So it's not quite a taffy. It's not quite, I don't even know how to explain it. But they're really delicious. But the true test comes right here. Randolyn, you get to taste test them. Try that one.
Okay.
So Randolyn gets to taste test them. What do you
Really
think?
good.
Really good. So there you go. I actually made my wife something she likes. That's amazing. I'm going to try them. I haven't had one of these in many a year. I used to make these all the time, but I don't like to zest anything. It's just, I don't like it. It's too hard because I have big hands. And yeah. Oh my God. So good. They're really soft. And they, ooh, so good. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Leave a comment. Thanks for watching.